Hello Legacy Sabers, Marsh here. So today we're going to talk about function compositions. What you're going to want to have on you are your notes, calculator, and then a pen or a pencil today. Learning target for today. Remember, this does need to be written at the top of the notebook. That way when you look through the pages, at least you'll know what's going on during this particular set of notes. So your learning target is I can perform function compositions. So let's talk about function operations. So to perform any kind of math operation using functions, basically what we're going to do is substitute the function rule for the function name and simplify. So let's say I have a function. His name is f. That's why it's f of x right here, f of x. So you need to, that's his name, is f. His function rule is negative 2x. Basically the equation, if you want to consider it that way. Function name, this is g, and his function rule is 3x plus 1. So if I want to take f of x and add g of x to him, I have to take whatever f of x is, negative 2x, and add on g of x, which is 3x plus 1. In this case, I would get an answer of x plus 1, because negative 2x and 3x together, they combine to give me 1x. And then that plus 1 just has to stay there. You can do the same thing with function compositions. Now, function compositions is a little bit different. Function compositions is when you take a function and make it up of one or more functions. So, to find a composite function, always evaluate the inside-most function first. What does that mean, you're probably asking me? Basically, what a function composition is instead of plugging a number like 3 into f, you're actually going to plug an actual function rule in for x. So, let's say we have f of x, he's equal to negative 2x. And then I have g of x, and he's equal to 3x plus 1. And I want to find the function composition f of g of x. Ultimately, what I am saying is I want to take g of x and plug it into f whenever I see an x value. So, this is ultimately what that is. F of g of x, which is 3x plus 1. I'm going to take 3x plus 1 and plug it into f. So that means whenever I see an x in f, I need to plug in 3x plus 1, or substitute 3x plus 1 for that spot. So here's my step of doing that. Negative 2 times 3x plus 1. So what I did, distributed that negative 2, and I get negative 6x minus 2. Now you're probably like, Marsh, this is confusing. Don't get me wrong, compositions are. Let's keep working at it, and by the end, I'm pretty sure it will not be too bad. So, let's take a look here. I have a couple of functions here. I have f of x, he is negative 2x. I have g of x, he's x squared plus 4x minus 3. I have h of x, he's 4x squared minus 2x. And then g of x is x minus 5. First problem we need to solve. H of negative 2. So that means wherever I see an x in h, I need to put a negative 2 instead. Let me repeat that. Whenever I see an x in h, I need to put negative 2 instead. So, go to h. I'm going to write down my problem I'm going to work on. There we go. And now, I'm going to plug in negative 2 for my x values. So 4, negative 2 squared, minus 2 times negative 2. Like that. So, let's evaluate this. Let's actually get a value for this function. So, negative 4 squared, that's 4. So 4 times 4, that would be 16. Minus negative 2, oh, actually, that'll be plus 4, negative 2 times negative 2. So h of negative 2 is 20. So if I substitute negative 2 into h, I am going to get a value of 20. Let's try another composition. H of g of x, or j, excuse me, of g of x. That's ultimately what we're saying right there. Now, what does that mean? That means whenever I see an x in j, I'm going to put g in that spot. So I'm going to do something like this. There's an x right here. So I'm going to plug in x squared plus 4x minus 3. All right, so let's try that here. So in j, you see this x, I'm going to put x squared plus 4x minus 3. Now, don't forget, you're ultimately writing j, but you're just putting g in it. So you need to make sure that you finish the rest of j with that minus 5, because it's x, which we just put x squared plus 4x minus 3 in substitution of that, and then we have that subtract 5. Now, let's combine like terms. X squared plus 4x, nobody to combine, so let's just write him down here. And then I got negative 3 minus 5, which would be negative 8. So what does that mean? The function composition j of g of x is equal to x squared plus 4x minus 8. Let's try another two problems here. So I got g of f of x. What does that mean? That means for every time I see an x in g, I'm going to put f in place. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cross off f. I'm going to put whatever f is. F is equal to negative 2x. So into g, whenever I see an x, I'm going to put negative 2x instead. So let's start writing out g. Well, g of x is equal to x squared. Oh, I saw an x. Don't put just x. We're going to put negative 2x, because that's what we're plugging in. Squared, because that was x squared, right? Plus 4x. Can't just write x. I got to write negative 2x. And then minus 3, because I got to finish out g. Don't forget to finish out g. Now, let's substitute this fully. Negative 2x squared. Let's write that off to the side. Negative 2x, that's technically negative 2x times negative 2x, right? Negative 2x squared. So that would be 4x squared. 4 times negative 2x, that's negative 8x. And then minus 3. So g of f of x is equal to 4x squared minus 8x minus 3. Let's try the last problem of the night. So f of h of x plus g of x. Whew. It's a pretty big one here. So let's deal with this part first, and then we'll deal with that. So into f, we're going to plug h of x in. So wherever we see an x in f, I'm going to put h in place. So let's start writing f of x. Because all this is 4x squared minus 2x. So into f, I'm going to put this function. So let's start writing f here. Negative 2. Oh, I see an x. We're not going to write x. We're going to write the function of h. So that's 4x squared minus 2x. All right. That's this piece. Now we got to add g of x on. So let's go ahead and add on g of x like that. Okay. Looks like we need to do some distributive property. Distribute that. Negative 8x squared plus 4x. There we go. Let's finish writing out a g. Okay. Combine some like terms. See this guy here and this guy there. So that's negative 7x squared. 4x plus 4x, that's 8x. And then minus 3. So the answer to this equation right here is negative 7x squared plus 8x minus 3. And that's the end of this video. See you later, Savers.